Hi guys, Josh here, aka Beards and Books. Today I'm doing a video that has been requested of me a couple of times. It is my 500 subs later video. Hope you enjoy. So what do I mean by 500 subs later? So what I wanted to do was make a video talking about my journey with Booktube, what I think has helped my channel grow at the rate that it has, what I think has made it different, what I plan on doing for the future, and any sort of broad tips that I have for fellow newbie Booktubers, as I am still only a couple of months in myself. So hopefully you will find a tip or just some ideas that can help you and your channel grow. Now obviously, a bit of a disclaimer before we get going. This is my tips and it is what I think has helped my channel grow. I really hope this would help you grow as well, but I don't know that for sure. These things helped me and my channel. They may not work for you, but even if you get one idea from this, hopefully that's something that can help you in the future. So I'm going to be breaking this video down into 5 points. I will explain each point as I go along, but that's just to make it a bit more structured and a bit easier to follow. Point one, and one that I tried to follow really regularly and strictly at the start, was how much content you create. Now, when you're a new booktuber, or a new YouTuber in general, this will apply to anyone, people don't know you. Unless you're some sort of social media star already, you know, maybe you're big on Instagram or Twitter or something, that might be different. But if you are very new to social media, to YouTube in general, people don't know you. They don't know your personality. They don't know your style. They don't know your content. What I did early on was I made a commitment to do 3 videos a week whilst my channel was growing, to try and build my channel essentially. I wanted a backlog of videos so that if people come in 2 months down the line, they've got, you know, however many videos it is, say 20 videos that they can look through and try and find the ones that really promote me to them and helps them find something they enjoy within my style. For me, this varied from tags. Tags is something that I've done quite often and I will still do occasionally in the future. Original content, which I will touch on a bit more in a little bit. Book reviews, which I haven't done as many as I would like, but I am starting to do more of now. And just discussion videos, essentially, your kind of broad video. Point number 2, original content. Now, if you've been around with my channel for a little while, you'll have noticed that I try to do different videos. I try to do original content. I've tried to make a few bits my own. I've done sort of Goodreads videos that I like to think I came up with. I probably didn't, but I didn't take the idea from anywhere. It was just something that I sort of thought up as I was doing. I did original tags, like I mentioned. I've done videos where I make recommendations to my younger self, which again wasn't something I'd seen anywhere else before. So I'm always trying to do something different. Now there's one big reason for this. If you make a tag video, say, and it's the same tag that 10,000 other booktubers have done, the odds of your one specific tag being found in amongst the giant video feed is really small. The bigger booktubers will always come up first. The ones that have got tens of thousands of views will come up first. If you try and do something different, if people stumble across your video, I personally think they're more likely to watch that than they are a tag that they've seen 10,000 other booktubers do. This is my opinion. I might be completely wrong, and I still do tags the same as other people as well, but that's now I've built a bit of a following. It wasn't something I did as much at the start. So as I mentioned, my main reasoning and my main thought process behind this is purely the thought of trying to not be stuck in the crowd of booktubers. If you do the same video as everyone, it's difficult for you to be seen and for you to be found. Now you might want to create original content, but maybe you're not too sure how. This is a tough one for me to explain to you because a lot of my ideas just naturally came to me. My idea for doing top 5s on Goodreads, I was new to Goodreads and I just started putting all my books in there and I started to think, oh, that's interesting, or that's interesting. So it wasn't something I necessarily planned out, it just kind of naturally came. In terms of my recommendations to Teen Me video, which is something that I will be carrying on doing in the future, I didn't read a lot of books as a teenager. So again, it's quite specific to me. The easiest one for me to describe to you is the tag. So as I mentioned, I made my own tag called the Road So Far tag. I did this trying to spread the word about my channel, trying to get other videos and other content creators to do the tag, just because it just spreads word better than, well, anything, really. What I did was I watched a whole bunch of tags. I picked a theme, which was the Road So Far, so your road so far with Booktube. And I kind of watched a lot of videos to check what sort of questions had been answered. I had about 12 questions originally. I dwindled it down to roughly 8, if I remember correctly, because I excluded some that popped up in quite a lot of tags. Some of the questions that I've asked do pop up in other tags. It's pretty difficult not to, not to find questions like that. Most questions have been asked in one way or another in terms of Booktube, but I tried to make them as different as possible, which was something that helped the tag sort of get some recognition and word of mouth. It's something I would definitely recommend that you guys do. If you've created your own tag, link it below. I will try and push it up the comments. I'll pin as many as I can. I think you can only pin one, but I'll think of something. And let me know. I'm always happy to do original tags. If you put them up on Twitter as well, let me know, and I'll push it out everywhere. I'll try and spread the word for you. But an original tag is definitely something I would recommend. Next up, and this is a point that I'm going to keep quite short and sweet because it's really obvious, but that's social media. On a personal note, I'm not on social media. I don't have a personal Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever all the cool kids are on. I only have it for my channel. I never wanted social media on a personal note because I had it when I was younger. I found that I was spending a bit too much time on it and it was just causing silly arguments with me and my girlfriend and such. So we made the decision as a joint to step away from it. I started it up again, obviously, when I started my channel because I realised that I needed word of mouth. This has been really helpful for me. I've spoke to a lot of booktubers and content creators at a bit more of an intimate level. You can only speak to people so much through comments. People are much more themselves when you're messaging each other back and forth and there's an actual conversation flowing. So it's been really good for me to make friends in the Booktube, social media world as it was, and just make friends with the booktubers. It's also a really good way of speaking to other people within the bookish community, whether that be publishers, editors, authors. I've had authors follow me and tweet me back that I never would have thought possible when I first started working through Booktube. And I say working, but it kind of does become a bit of a job, to be fair, when you're doing it regularly. But social media is really key for building your profile and what I highly recommend. It's also very important if you're like me and you're getting more into your writing. So I am working on a couple of stories at the moment. I've never written a book or a novel before, but now that I'm getting more and more into my reading, it was something that I wanted to do. So it's something that I am actively doing at the moment. I am writing, and as I said, I've met a lot of publishers and a lot of editors through social media, mainly through Twitter. Twitter is kind of the key one. Also sort of lit agents, so literary agents, people that will help you speak to authors and publishers. And these are people that I will reach out to more in the future when I think my book is at a situation where I think it could possibly be published, or at least is in a position where I can start talking to authors and push more. But again, that wouldn't be possible without social media. I wouldn't have met or spoken to any of these people. Point number 4, I think this is the one that is probably the most obvious, but is also taken for granted, and that is to read. Just read some books, man. The more you read, the more variety in the books you read, the more you have to speak about. If you are a reader who only reads something, I don't know, specific, like paranormal romance, if every one of your videos is related to paranormal romance, you can only expect a certain level of crowd because not everyone is into paranormal romance. And if you're not, you're more than likely not going to read or not going to want to watch those videos, sorry. This isn't something I had to force on myself. I have quite a diverse reading style. I've read books from Me Before You by Jojo Moyes to A Monster Calls to Game of Thrones to Dune to Stephen King, and pretty much anything you can imagine. I'll read YA, I'll read horror, thrillers, sci-fi, anything. So it's quite easy for me to talk about a wide variety of books. That might not be the case for everyone, but maybe at least try. If you're wanting to try certain authors or certain styles, maybe make your own challenge or your own sort of TBR based on that. I did a Stephen King reading challenge purely for that point of I wanted to read more Stephen King. They were really successful videos for me. They helped me speak to a lot of other Stephen King fans and bring them to my channel. And without that, without me challenging myself to read those specific authors, it wouldn't have happened. And finally, I know I said the last one was obvious, but this one's the most obvious. Have fun. Booktube is fun. It's meant to be about books. It's meant to be about a hobby that we all enjoy and we all love. We all love stories. We all want to talk about our favourite books, and Booktube is the place to do it because you're talking to like-minded people. There will be people that disagree with your comments. There will be people that don't like the books you read. Take all of that with a pinch of salt. You cannot please everyone, and if you please everyone, you're doing something wrong. I think it was Eminem who had a quote. It was along the lines of, it's like, good, you've got enemies. It means you stood up for something, which is true. If you go about liking everything, okay, it's one, it's going to come across a little bit fake, and two, you need passion. Do you want to talk about books? You need passion. So you need to talk about the ones that you enjoy, the ones you love. No one loves every book, okay? No one thinks every book is a 10 out of 10 book. There are negatives in 9.99% of books. It's very, very rare you get that one where you can't spot a flaw in it. Some of my favourite books still have glaring plot holes or characters that I cannot stand. So I'll talk about those. But I'll enjoy the books that I read and I will talk about them honestly. And it's something that people should do. Just have fun with Booktube. Try not to take it too serious early on, okay? Booktube very quickly becomes consuming. If you're like me, you'll see your channel grow, you'll want to do more and more, you'll want to see it grow more and more, and then before you know it, you're spending hours on it, and you just don't let it consume you, but have fun, enjoy it, and put as much time respectively as you can into it. Don't, push other things aside, but put time into it. Remember, your social media is key. Remember to talk to other booktubers. Remember to talk to non-booktubers down in the comments. Just do everything you can, but enjoy it. If you're not enjoying it, take a break. I got to a point where I was making 3 videos a week, and whilst I was still enjoying it, it was forced. I was forcing myself to make 3 videos a week. They weren't the type of videos that I wanted to make, and I had to step back. And now I'm doing 1 or 2 videos a week, and it just works better for me, especially now that I'm trying to write on the side as well. I couldn't fit it all in otherwise. Guys, I really hope you've enjoyed this video. As I mentioned, it ended up being a bit of a ramble, but this is just my points on what I think people should do to build a successful Booktube channel. If you take any points away from this, I really hope it's helped. Let me know down in the comments if there's anything you suggest to other booktubers as well. I hope you've enjoyed. Please remember to like, comment and subscribe if you have. I don't know what I'm doing. I'll speak to you soon. Bye bye.